Looking good. Hello, how you doing today? I don't know about the looking good part, but hey, looking like something. Let's see, YouTube is operating. YouTube, we're live on YouTube. I got the Durr shirt. Okay, it's a Fender shirt. Durr, 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 Durr. How's everyone doing today? It's a Wednesday. It's a rare. Cat's talking about the Mo. You got an issue? He really needs me to play with him now that I started streaming. It's a rare. Unfortunately, I should be less rare, but I mean, because I used to stream 7 days a week. So not only were Wednesday's streams not rare, they were de rigueur. I'm trying to bring back Wednesday streams. Today we're going to be flying around a Microsoft Flight Simulator. I got the beautiful, freshly poured can of Diet Coca-Cola. Also known as Diet Coke. Technically, it's not Coca-Cola. It's Diet Coke. It's not Diet. Hey, let's move on. Boring subjects. Speaking of boring subjects, how about the beautiful blue Bluetooth controller? It's one of a kind, too. I got my throttle quadrant right here. I got Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 boot up. I got at least one more place to look at in South America. It's the Cathedral of Moringa. Hopefully, we can find it. Not all the points of interest are easy to find. Some of them are super easy to find. Some of them are near impossible. As we've been discovering, it's kind of fun, in a sense. In a sense that it's not really that much fun. I mean, you know, for those of us who are anal about finding all the points of interest, you know what I mean? I don't know what kind of plane we're going to fly around in, but let's see if we can find this specific point of interest so we can at least knock that one off. There's another one, I think, or another couple, but I have to go back to the video and watch it yet again. Oh, by the way, today is another day in which I will be doing my morning routine late. I delayed it so that I could do it again. I did it the other day. It was fabulously successful. Got thousands of viewers to come in and cheer me on. Sort of in my dreams, but I don't know. I looked at it later. I was like, I don't know if that's the best content to do in the world, but it's kind of showing off, you know, a little bit. I'm pretty good at it. I'm pretty good at it. So, you know, I'm going to do it. See, it's a talent. It's like, you know, flying around a Microsoft Flight Simulator after 3,000 hours or playing music after 20,000 hours of each of those instruments. And now I can add being a Quirtle and Octordal maniac on a daily basis. And a trivia king. I was always kind of the trivia master. All right, so let's see here. What we're going to be looking for here is Cathedral of Moringa and see if it comes. I'm pretty sure it will. It's in a big city. Hello. Yeah. All right. We're not. I don't know if it's finding anything. Okay, let's look at what it has. It might be. I bet we could find it. There it is. Didn't find it. Yeah, she's having a great finding. So I actually did find this point of interest, although you know I couldn't type in that A because I don't got a keyboard. No, she's doing well. I watched her for several hours this morning, and yeah, it's quite an adventure. She's definitely saying something about how she's spending the rest of the month, which is another 4 weeks in Bangkok. She's not going to move around too much from, you know, she's just going to use Bangkok as her point of exploration. She was talking about going back to Pattaya or going to China or maybe going to Korea, you know, visiting other people, but or other parts of Thailand like Chiang Mai. But I think she's not going to. And then she's like, oh, well, I'm going to come home after that. So, you know, she's doing really good. As I say, I couldn't. It'd be hard for me to travel that far. All right, so we've got this city to fly over. It's going to be beautiful. What is this? The Manuel Urbano Airport. Oh, it's a helipad. Okay, well, it's a helipad. This one is an actual airport. Yes. So we're just going to let you know, just in case, let's make this a destination, our arrival point, and we'll make this our takeoff point. But we're going to fly in a really tiny plane. It's not very far. And this way we'll be able to do a little flyover, you know, at low level. So I was thinking we're gonna take out maybe one of the ultralights. Their choices are really the gyrocopter. The Magni Gyro. I kind of want to take this out. It's fun. It's different. It's a treat in my opinion. That's the only opinion that matters on my stream here. Okay, the second half of the stream will definitely be, by the way, if you haven't been here, will definitely be a come in great colors too, including purple. So obviously one of our choices. Pearled beige. Actually, we don't have purple, but I kind of like pearled beige idea. They don't have purple? I thought they did. Okay, let's move on. Pearled beige it is. That sounds like an expensive color. I am going to be doing my morning routine of the quartals, the two quartals, the two octortals, and the tightrope today. If you want to see that, that'll be between after the end of the Flight Simulator content and before the musical content. I got to play my piano today because I haven't played in a while. I'm sure I will be rusty if I wait any longer. All right, so we got this. We're going to cold start it. It's fun to cold. I think it's real simple to cold start. It's just, turn on a couple switches. Right, so we're going to start at a parking ramp here. We're going to go cheer. I'm going to say cheers to everyone for the Diet Coke. But, yeah, I mean, and she's going to be making Kick partner apparently pretty soon, according to her. The other thing is that she's telling everyone, I watch her on both Twitch and Kick, but pretty soon you're only going to be able to watch her on Kick. Because in the Kick partner program, they pay you an hourly amount, and it's quite predictable. For every 100 viewers, you get $10 an hour. Every 100 viewers you have an hour, you get $10 an hour, or fraction of 10 viewers, you get $1. But you can't stream on any other services. But having an hourly income like that is a huge advantage that Twitch does not offer. And she gets a big. All right, let's walk around here. Looks like we're gonna have to do some chalk removals, but I'm pretty sure because it's not a bad plane. Oops. There we go. Easily remove those. We're gonna walk around. We're gonna remove our whatever this is. That's the Pito 2, I imagine, or the. Oof. Gonna make it hard on me, are you? Check around here. Looks like everything's good. I don't think there's an engine thing you have to remove back there. Okay, but let's just double check. All the surfaces look good. It's a real simple plane. It's got the external air thing. They pay certain streamers giant, amounts. But streamers like Amaranth, she does it. She gets about 1,700 viewers, so she gets about $170 an hour. Basically, just sit there. Doesn't matter what content it is. Doesn't matter if anybody subscribes. All right. Let's see. Wait a minute. That's not this one. Okay. Battery switch. We got to check to make sure okay, good. The throttle works. So we'll set the throttle to there. We're going to have to turn on some switches here. What do we got? Lights. Oh yeah. Fuel valve open. Fuel pump on. Fuel valve. I guess 2 fuel valves and 2 fuel pumps. I don't think this opens. Let's see. I think we can turn on the engine now. Maybe I haven't turned on. No, I don't think I've turned on this thing here. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Okay, that should be off. And then this one, there's a fuel valve. Let's just check here. Battery backup, start power. Oh, press to start engine. Cool. Okay. Cool to look at everything close. Very helpful. Throttle, parking brake is engaged. Look out the window. Hello, that's the right person. All right, now I figured out how to do it. Turn on start power and then push the start button. And you see things are started. Now, interesting thing. This is a gyrocopter. You might go, oh, only one of your blades is working there. No, the top blade is not powered. It's unpowered. Only the back part is powered. It's not a helicopter. It's not a plane. As we start, because you kind of see a little bit, because it's facing backwards, as we move forward, wind will naturally catch in this propeller rotor and start turning it. And then the rotational momentum of the propeller allows it to produce quite a bit of lift, just as much or more than a wing would. It's a really unusual design. These are real things, too. Gyrocopters are, but they're not that common. They're not necessarily a great... all right, we're going to be heading, northeast? Let's just ask for a north departure. Okay, so you see the propeller is pushing, and it basically handles like a plane on the ground here. You can just drive around is all we want here. See if it'll head us out to the... But once we start moving, you'll see that propeller will start, that the rotor will start going. The rotor brake I turned on is that top rotor brake. It's not the back engine brake. Okay, let's get go juice here. So we're heading out this way. I'll acknowledge taxi clearance. And again, we're here to see the Cathedral of Moringa. Because we didn't get to it last time, I think. Yeah, we didn't get to it. I double checked. I thought we'd get to it. And then we'll see if there's anything else to see. But, you know, we might be done, almost done with all the sites. There's a couple more. Hello. Speed us up a little bit. We're not moving very fast. Okay, a little more gas here. A little more juice here to the juicer. There it is. Right. All right. Parking brake is off. All right. We're just... Okay, there we go. Okay. When we start to move here, you see we start to pick up speed. It'll get... in fact, that's probably why you want to keep your brake on. Slow it down until you get to where you're going to take off from. Keep it from trying to lift you. So you leave the rotor brake on while we're traveling to the point there. Hello. Parking brake is off, right? There we go. All right, we're almost there. This is a pretty big runway, pretty big airport, I think. That's why it's taking us a while to get there. What is going on here? Did I turn the rotor brake off again? I did. Oh. All right. It's okay. Stop. All right, we're good. Taking off a little prematurely there, but it's fine. Why did the rotor brake go off? I turned it on. I think it may have automatically turned off at some point. Or the rotor brake turned off. All right. We're good now. But that's not... See, what you want to do is avoid taking off. We got brakes. Request takeoff clearance. We do not need a lot of runway. Look how huge this runway is. I mean, look how far the back goes both directions. It's for big jets. We need, like, very little. All right. So now that we're cleared for takeoff, I am going to unlock the rotor. Got too much there. All right. So it wants us to go down there so we can take off this direction. So we're just going to take off this direction. All right. So rotor brake is off. It's all right. Now as we start getting some speed down the runway here. Oh, let's take a clearance.
Please acknowledge.
Yes, I said that. What? Acknowledge.
Clear for takeoff.
All right, so this thing is starting to spin. Now we're going to give us full speed down here. As it spins, it provides lift, so we can basically just easily come right off the runway there. It's really an unusual, cool vehicle. And you can also see how the rotors are very lightweight. They're very light, and they flex, so the whole thing becomes kind of a disc that's, you know, like an upside down frisbee kind of thing. And that's also, it's really cool how they model that. They're not just a full a solid, you know, asset, but they flex under the weight and the lift of the air. But they're not powered. They're just going by themselves. Now there's those two rods there. Those rods have a cyclic control so that you can go left and right. Because otherwise you wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing left and right. Now front and down is controlled by an aerodynamic surface on the back, I think. Maybe not. Maybe front and down is also controlled by cyclic. I don't think so. But then you have left and right from the rudder, kind of a typical rudder system. So again, completely different and a little more simple, I would say, more simplified compared to a helicopter. Some things you'll see similar to a helicopter are like that little, having that little thread there attached to the windshield to help tell you what your angle of your slip angle. It's called a slip angle indicator. You wouldn't see, you know, I see this on planes. Very common on helicopters because it's just a thread taped to the windshield, but it's very useful because it tells you when you're slipping into the wind. So if I use a lot of rudder, it kind of moves that way, and if I use a lot of rudder the other way, it kind of moves that way. And so it's kind of indicating what my slip angle is into the wind as I move forward. Which in a helicopter can be very great. You might be moving you might be moving like parallel. All right, this is cool. We're coming in over some countryside. That's where we took off from back there. It looks like a good... What happened here?
Tower KNSH, Niner,
what?
Niner continue for north departure.
Okay, we do have trim capability, which is nice because we're going to want to trim that. And we're not moving very fast, so that's good. But we're not going to be able to miss the place where we're going because we have points of interest marked today. You know, those little things there, those little white things. That wasn't here yesterday or Monday. But as I say, like 50% of the time they show up on the screen and 50% of the time they don't. But it's great. It's got that. I think one of the reasons that it's not popular compared to a light plane, an ultralight, is that the chop chop noise. They're pretty loud. These chopper things actually make quite a bit of noise beating through the air, even though they're not powered. And then you still got a pretty loud engine right behind you, so it's not really like a quiet ride. And neither helicopters are extremely loud too, but private planes can be fairly calm in the cockpit. Like you could have a normal conversation without headphones. You sometimes, or like the jets. Actually, most of them don't. Most of small airplanes are just too loud to like talk without being on headphones. Oh my God, that's some good Diet Coke. So we're going to get to the point of interest. We are going to stop time. We're going to put on our magical parachutes.
Leaving my airspace frequency change.
Thank you for approving of my frequency.
Tower KNSH, Niner.
Basically just means, doesn't mean shit. All right, Cathedral of Moringa, Deadhead, sort of. And I'm guessing that's the name of the city. I'm guessing, but that's a guess. All right, let's maintain not too high. I can see it right ahead, and exactly what it looks like. It's a very tall pyramid, or conic pyramid. We'll see. Maybe we'll go to the Google Maps and do some looking up of facts and figures about this amazing structure. That's what this looks like from here. I do like that pearl coat paint job. It is a sweetie. It is a nice one. You'd think it'd be boring, but it's not. And the other thing is this plane is a very light asset, meaning that it's not slowing down my graphics engine today. That's nice. We're getting full speed. All right, so here, I mean, you can't really land here. And it's not the end, man. These are not vertical landing. You can't land like a helicopter. In an emergency, you can kind of gyro down. All right, everyone get your magical parachutes on. This is what it looks like to jump out. Okay, we gotta look this way. And here we are, Cathedral of Moringa. Lovely. It's got the fountains. It's got your water. It's got, looks like an 8-sided, or no, a lot of sides. What's down here? I don't know, cubes. All right. Very, very modern. Across the top, very tall. I mean, the interesting question is it like a completely hollow structure that goes all the way up in the inside? And I don't think we'll be able to go inside, but sometimes you can. Usually you can, especially if it's a door. Oh, you can. Check it out. I'm glad I tried that. You can look straight up, and in fact, yes. According to this structure, which also shows a lot of detailing on the inside, I'm kind of surprised. Not all these structures do. We should be able to go, like, ascend this little column here quite a ways. And kind of look down from the top. Oh, yeah, we can. Oh, yes. And that's what it would look down kind of from here. Wow. So it does. It is. It's obviously a very impressive building from the inside. Because of that structure that you can look straight up in, which it should be if it's a house of worship. But also kind of the water setting where it almost looks like an island. It's so much water around and like you're climbing up to an island, which I think is also intentional. So it's cool. All right, let me actually, before I talk too much about it, I actually want to go quickly over here to Google Maps. It'll just take me a second to look it up. Just take me, or I'll just look it up on Google. Moringa. Okay, Moringa, a Roman Catholic cathedral located in Moringa, Paraná, Brazil. Paraná, reaching 124 meters, 400 feet in height. It's completed in 1972, and is the tallest church building in the Americas, and the 18th tallest in the world. Architect Bellucci was inspired by the Soviet Sputnik satellites when he designed the cathedral's modernist conical shape. The design was idealized by the Archbishop Dom Jaime Luis Coelho. Foundation stone made of a piece of marble from the St. Peter's Basilica in Rome, blessed by Pope Pius XII, was laid on 1958. It took them 13 years to build it. Interesting. 1958, 13 years to build it. And I believe kind of this is all kind of a kind of a modernistic stained glass, because that's what it looked like on the inside. You can kind of see on the inside. We can go in there. You can kind of see. I think you can kind of see through the walls. So it must be a really impressive thing. The thing is, I mean, it's basically just a big open room, though. You know what I mean? I mean, it doesn't show how it's laid out. Like they have seats. I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Maybe that's not a perfect representation, but I'm glad we came to see it. All right, let's get back in the plane. Well, it's a gyrocopter. Here it is. We're gonna fly around a bit, but that's gonna be, you know, for this only because I enjoy the flying part of it. That we saw what we came to see. That's it right here. Here's it in motion. And we learned something about it too. 1972. I would have thought newer, but it's interesting to find that they started making it in 1959. And it took them that long to build it because it's obviously a very difficult piece of, even though it's just reinforced concrete. You know what I mean? It's not really, it just has to be poured very slowly. I don't know. Interesting. All right, Moringa. It's a pretty looking city. They probably redone it. Looks like it's got kind of a central park area here down here. Like there. Is that kind of the park? Because that's the downtown area. The airport we came from is way down there. There's another one up here we might try landing at. It's not too far, I think. What does it say here? Yeah, this one up here, SSHN, is up in the country. What does it say about runways? I mean, anything's long enough. That's more than long enough. Let's check it out. It'll mean heading out to the countryside a little bit here. It's about, what? It's about 6 miles? 7 miles? It'll take a while. But hey, that's what we're here. We're here to fly around. We're not here to fly around for 3 minutes. We're here to fly around for like 12 minutes. And this way we get to kind of get a good, nice look at the view here. You know, we're getting some raindrops on our falling on our head here, which is kind of cool. I mean, technically we are protected, but we're getting some light rain here. I have left real-time weather on. So it looks really cool. Again, it's interesting that there's these reflection effects that sometimes are so distracting, but it really depends on what the cloud cover is. Decent cloud cover, it's fine. Clear day, it's fine. It's only when there's like mottled. You know, we can probably land there. We can land on practically anything that's flat in a gyrocopter. We'll check out. I think this is a little grass runway up here. Anyway, this is the city, Moringa. It's central, pretty central. I'm sure there's a river around here, you know, but I didn't see it. But there's some kind of like gardens or something, maybe a park like setting over there. Maybe some kind of estate. And then this is so cool. I don't know why. A highway with a big fancy clover leaf intersection. I don't know. I just like it. I don't know, you know, highway engineering in Brazil. I won't follow this road out. We should get a little lower here. Pretty sure this road's going to head us out to whatever that little airport is, or grass airstrip, which is our destination. Our first destination. Of course, there'll be a second flight. Sometimes I do 3, but I like to do at least 2. We may not do Brazil for the second flight. You know what I mean? It might just be a random flight in a random plane somewhere. There's always going to be time. Brazil's not going anywhere. I like the way these. Is that like a truck depot? Or all kind of a raid out there. Warehouses. Distribution center, maybe. Cool. Yeah, it's still kind of raining. It looks like where we're going is less rainy, but we'll see. I do like that we have kind of a pretty realistic view of what it would look like under light rain conditions. Maybe a little more streaky. But this plane would not have wipers. But you see, they're probably not necessarily. And then again, you wouldn't really want to fly in terrible, heavy rain conditions, which we're not. It's just light rain. Now we're flying at a low altitude, which isn't necessarily safer, but hey, that's not what we're into. We're checking out the trees. All right, we're still heading where I want to go, right? SSHN, yeah. So it's kind of that way. We're following this road here. It's just a little grass strip. It goes east to west. All right, we'll figure it out. But yeah, something about this plane, I always get a kick out of it. What are these, by the way? Strobe lights? Probably have those on. Landing lights? Nah, we don't need landing lights. Oh yeah, this thing here, transponder, should be on. Okay, doesn't matter, but that's fine. That's the comm. Okay, these are just lights. Okay, I'm just checking that out. Instruments look good. Compass. Everything here is fine. My question is, if we turn off start power, does that turn off the engine? Or is that just turn off power to the starter? Yeah, it just turns off power to the starter. Interesting. So you don't need to have start power on when you're not starting. Oh, I'm just checking stuff out. Just some detailing here. And if you look here, I mentioned they always have a place printed on it that reminds you of what the typical, let's see, temperature parameters. Oh no, this is engine parameters. Cool. I mean, somewhere it's probably going to tell you on the headline or somewhere what your velocities are. You know, stall speed, maximum, never exceed. Okay, I feel we need to come in. There's some terrain here. We're going to need to come in over right there. We don't want to go too high. So we're going to come in over this direction here. Here's what it looks like from here. We're landing at that little, it says airport, but I have a feeling it's just a tiny little grass strip. But this is some beautiful countryside, a little bit of countryside. We saw some city, we saw some countryside, and that amazing cathedral. I think that's one of the last kind of, single physical aspects. Some of the other things that they added are like a park, an actual like wildlife park. And that usually means it's a little bit less of interest, although we could look for one, see if we could find it. I'd have to go back to the video. We'll do that next time. I'll be streaming again on Friday, for sure. Why not? And don't forget, I'm going to do my little more morning routine again, but this may be the last time I do it. I enjoy doing the content. I might do it every night, like once a week. And my morning routine consists of a little more than this, but for today we're going to do 2 quirtles, 2 octurtles, and a tightrope. And if you don't know what that means, I guess you're going to find out. And if you do know what that means, you're probably like, oh gosh. I'm a little surprised, but you remember I did a lot of prep work and a lot of kind of research, like what streamers really streamed a long time, and what streamers streamed a long time with relatively small audience. What do they have in common? The streamers that don't stream a long time often get out of it because they made their money and they're done. And that's probably not going to happen. And I don't expect it to. But no, I'm having a great time, and I think I'm going to be doing this for years and years. It's such a low, it's such a low bar. Once you've got everything set up, it is pretty easy for me to get going with the streaming. And again, if I wasn't streaming, I'd be playing this during my break at work. I'd be doing the exact same thing, almost the exact same thing, just not streaming it. I mean, so the only, kind of the only thing you get into is kind of the narrating your thought process out loud. Because I would prefer to listen to somebody narrating their thought process, kind of heading this way, than just kind of streaming in silence. Some people like that though, like this kind of content where you're. But then if you're not going to talk, there's no reason to have a camera either. And I always felt I want to have a camera. I want to be a camera on camera. And especially for the musical segments, you gotta have multiple cameras. Where is? Okay, there it is. Okay. I've seen it. All right. Is it kind of this way here? I mean, is it kind of? I'm just trying to figure out what the orientation this is. Oh yeah, okay. We're gonna follow this up. It's oh yeah, okay. It's right next to this. So there's like a little brook here. You can tell where this is. It's kind of right next to it. But there's no flaps. There's no gears. No. But yeah, you know, streaming would be tiring if it were a lot of effort to stream beyond the setting up. You know, it would absolutely get tiring. But it's not because it's so little effort. I mean, you know what I mean. Once you set it up, I'm not saying not effort to set it up. I'm not saying it's free. It looks like there is a little bit. It's definitely not a grass strip. But anyway, this plane really only has, you can adjust where the thing is pointed and what your throttle is. And one thing you can do is sort of when you flare out, you have rotational energy stored up in the blades there, so you can flare out even, and it kind of has more of a flaring effect than even a regular plane does, which you'll see. But then as you lose rotational energy, you know, you want to make sure you're not too high up off the ground because you lose it pretty quickly. We'll do this one from inside. Okay, so I'm slowly reducing the power to pretty much nothing. We're idling now, but then as I flare, because we're holding a lot of rotational energy, I can slow down quite a bit to practically nothing, and then just slowly put myself down like that, and that's the correct landing. Yeah, at practically zero speed. You know, jam your rotor brake on so you don't take off again. Give yourself some power. And I just love these. I mean, one of the things that makes me not so excited is the idea of flying a really exotic plane. Yeah, I guess when you go fast enough, it automatically takes your rotor brake off. I bet there's a little thing there that says, do not exceed X speed with your rotor brake on, or it will automatically turn off, because it keeps automatically turning off when I go too fast. Which is fine, because it probably, if it didn't do that, you'd break your rotor brake. It was a good landing, but I mean, this is a very unusual plane. But as I say, you land and then you flare out and you sort of kind of descend, sort of like a helicopter, because you're still getting they have this rotational momentum that they've stored up. I just want to check out this little general aviation airport I've never been to in Panama. No, sorry, what I say Panama? In Brazil, it's Pana. I can't remember the state. Nowhere near Panama. There's a cool helicopter over there. There's a float plane over there. This is kind of cool. Checking out what the general aviation planes are. As long as we go slow enough, there's another little Robinson helicopter over there. It's as long as we go slow enough, the rotor brake will stay on, which I wanted to. But we can go onto the grass here. We'll be fine. Just need more power to. That's what it looks like from here. A little bumpy. Got the dandelions. I'd appreciate that. Yes, if both pilots got food poisoning and there was no other pilots on the plane, and they're like, both our pilots have food poisoning and passed out. It's a lot like the movie Airplane already, but still, it could happen. You know, I'd have to go, nobody else? All right, I'll fly the plane for you. You know what I mean? I want to live too, you know? I don't want to die. Nobody flying the plane, and I'm the only one who kind of knows how to fly a plane. I'll fly the plane, all right? Now, hopefully on a big-ass plane, there'll be somebody who's an actual pilot. But then again, yeah, I could probably figure out just about any plane after thousands of hours, including the big ones. I don't do it on stream a lot, but because I find them boring, but I do fly the 737s and the Airbuses around on occasion off stream. I just find them super boring. They're kind of fun a little bit. I don't want to get into it, but I think I know where things are on those big planes. You know what I mean? So yeah, I appreciate your confidence. All right, second flight. I actually want to get out and take a little picture here. Let's turn off the prop here. Let's see. So throttle, that doesn't turn off the prop. Oh yeah, turn off all these switches, and that will turn off the engine, I believe, right? No. I guess you have to turn the battery off to turn off the engine, or you'd think there'd be a separate fuel valve somewhere. Does this canopy handle work? Where? Canopy handle. There we go. Canopy, nice. Of course, it automatically takes you outside and then closes the canopy. But still, we'll get a nice picture from here. Actually, I want to take it from like this side here. I really like this pearl paint job. And again, as far as an ultralight plane that you might operate for in the, for fun, for sport, to sightseeing, this is a really good choice, I think. Let me do a little screenshot here. That's a little postcard I can email or mail effectively put on my disk. I know I've been there. Looks good. All right, second flight. Nobody cares, right? Good, because it's going to be totally random. It's going to be a free flight. It's not going to be in that plane. It's not going to be in Brazil because I'm tired of it. But, we can spin the globe. Look at that. It's spinning. We can go anywhere. We can make it any time of day or night. I mean, we just did Bangkok, but maybe we should do like somewhere down in that area. Gosh, I don't know. Anybody have any suggestions? Where you'd like to go? Like name a city? Yeah, Hobie. How you doing, Hobie? By the way, I'm sorry, I just shouldn't have said hi before. Thanks for coming by. Good to see you. You can see me live. The weekday shows are easier to catch, and I really want to do these Monday and get really religious about the Monday, Wednesday, Friday shows. Saturday, Sunday shows are good. All right. Well, because you're here, maybe we'll fly it somewhere around the central. Is it nice weather around here? Kansas City, maybe Lawrence, Topeka. I like the sound of that. Someplace we haven't. I mean, we haven't. I don't think we've flown there too much. We'll find out if the weather's good there. Okay, well, there's a big airport here. There's Topeka Regional, and then there's this municipal, the smaller one. All right, it should be fun. Is that a fire in Australia? Maybe, probably not. Maybe I think they don't show fires. They show, but it does show weather, like weather features. All right, like which can look kind of like a fire, but are basically just like a cyclonic weather feature, or storm, effectively. Something we don't fly all that often. It doesn't have to be super fast. We're not really looking for anything. We'll fly the Brit Normander. It's just another one of the ones I love. We're going to pick up a nice variation. There's quite a few variations. There's kind of a long nose. There's these, and these have different. The cool thing about the Maritime Defender is it has those. These are you drop these, and these are for. It doesn't matter. All right, it's for Ocean Air. Let's do Cape Air though. Well, actually, no. That one we can pick liveries for. Got it. Okay. So we'll do. At least we have a million of these, and they're all cool. We'll do black box because it's orange and white. We're gonna cold start it. It's fun to cold start. It doesn't take too long. It's got a bit of a challenge to it, and that'll be our second flight for the day. But yeah, I'm glad they have the Normander working for 2024. This is originally you bought it for 2020, and it wasn't kind of working for a while, and then I have updated it. It had power issues, but it really flies pretty much normally now. Now you see there's chocks, there's a bunch of stuff. There's stuff there on the engines. We don't have to worry about. Oh yeah, we got the ticking sound. That is the only current downside. But I love how shiny that is, and get the reflections there, and oh, beautiful. Kench 9999 black box general aviation. I wonder if that's intentional. How that's supposed to look. I don't care. I like it. All right, everyone on board. Anyway, to remove the chocks and stuff on this plane, it's nice and easy. They just give you this little checkbook here, your covers, and we can remove the boarding steps there in anticipation of starting the engine. All right, all this stuff works. Yes, no, maybe. Yes, it does. Okay, I can move all those. All right, mixture, throttle, propeller is about there. Beautiful. We can hide this. This is where basic power switches are. So all these kind of get going here. Okay, so next thing to do is get our fuel valves for the left and right engine turn on. Now we're going to start both engines. Turn the starter on. How this one works is you look out the right side. You make sure the propeller is clear. You look out both sides. Oh yeah, turn the beacon lights. Okay, so starboard engine start, and then what? Ooh, I don't know. Is it catching? Yeah, then you turn the magnetos on after it kind of spins around a bit. It'll catch. It's fine. All right, both fuel pumps are on. We're gonna do the port engine. Let it spin a bit. And then flam those magnetos on. Yes, I love it. All right, it's starting. Okay, so what else do we need? Avionics master. Navigation lights. Let's see, beacon lights. Oh, yeah. We can turn external power off. The radio should be on with the there that we use. Okay. Depart straight out. Avionics is on. Part of the radio. Blah blah blah. I think everything's starting up.
Request taxi for takeoff straight out departure.
Let's see. Everything here is coming up nicely, right? Looks good. Engine's coming up to temperature there. Those things are starting to move in the right way. Oh yeah. Alright, the generators are on. Okay, good. Alright. Generators are on. The fuel pumps don't need to be on. Well, we turn them on after. We turn them off after takeoff. Let's see, where does it want us to go? Okay, good. We're gonna head out this way. Give us a little more power. Lots of cool little planes to look at here. So basically, I think I have weather turned to the to live weather. It's showing live weather in real time. I don't know why it's taking us around there. It's going to go over here. A shortcut here. But this is basically just going to be a circular flight, I imagine. To see what there is to see at Topeka. We've done Kansas City. But I think Topeka is a new one. Or new to me. For the show. So I'm kind of excited to see whether they have. And a lot of these Midwestern cities look great from the sky. A lot of them, a surprising number of them looked like they had a lot of handiwork done there. That looks like two planes. Is that one plane? I guess that's one plane. Hard to say. Yeah, alright. Oops. Don't run into any of that stuff over here. Try to drive the plane. Well, I'm not looking around too much. But the other thing that's cool about this plane, it's like the Azure Poly toy. It's got that thing in there that's drifting around. Well, that's your radio thing. Got to use a lot of rudder here to stay on the target here. Slow down a bit here. Not exactly sure how long it's going to have us taxiing. Not too bad. It's like the end of this taxiway up here. Normally, I do like to fly this plane as an island hopper because that's what it's best at, but honestly, it's just a fun fly in every way. So I do pick it a lot. I mean, it's not my all-time favorite. I mean, they're all, you know, I got like a top 10 list, let's put it that way. That gyrocopter is up there. It's just really a fun, kind of classic, unique plane to fly. The only issue is it, you know, it just doesn't go very fast. There's no autopilot, so you got to be on about a short. You can't really just take it on a long flight. All right, we're gonna slow down here. We're gonna request takeoff clearance. We're setting our flaps to the mid position for takeoff. Now a little bit of positive trim, but not much needed to take off. 2948. Actually, what is our barometer set at here? Let's show 2948. So it should be less than that, right? Yeah, it's showing us too high up. I'm saying the altitude looks high because we are in a low pressure situation. Hold on, I got you. 2948. I'm setting my altimeter 2948. 2945. Well, close enough to show us the correct height, which was much lower than they said there. All right, we're cleared for takeoff. I don't always do that because I don't really always care, but I can see we were way off there. It's pretty easy fairly easy. All right, passengers, put your tray tables in the right position. Extinguish your smoking materials. That's what it looks like from here. We don't need this. We're just going to slowly advance everything there. You know, throttle and propeller. Hear those engines build up power. Yeah, now we're getting full rotational speed out of the engine, so we know the plane's working. And we can lift off right around 65, 70 knots. Whoa, I guess we got a side wind there. Try not to do that, but that's what I wanted to do. That's fine. That seems to be something about 2024. It's kind of rotation. But you can see there's a little bit of side wind there. Not a lot. It's just, you know, if there's no side wind, there's no effect at all. So it's obviously just way turned out too much. All right, which way is Topeka? It's that way. Oh, that way. All right, let's head that way. All right, so meanwhile, let's see. This goes to about there. These come back to about here. So I wanted to mention before, this plane has a optimal propeller speed, meaning most efficient. And it's, if you look at it, there's an instrument here which shows it. It says port starboard is RPM times 1,000. And that green, those longer green sections there is 2,400 is the RPM. All right, so we took off from here. It's a little bit of a ways out, right? Where did we take off from? Oh, this way. So there, that's the airport right here. And then there's the river. And then we got Topeka. But okay, so the throttle can come down a little bit. As long as you're maintaining that RPM, you're in the efficient realm as far as the propellers are. So then it's just a matter of trimming so the nose isn't too light, isn't too heavy or too light. There we go. Get an airspeed of around 100. I think they claim that the cruise speed, which would be a little bit higher, is about 135. It's not a very aerodynamic plane. The gear does not go up. I'm not just keeping it down. It never did, or it normally doesn't. It's just not designed for high speeds. It's designed for island hopping, and that doesn't necessarily need speed, just needs efficiency, really. And it's quite efficient to run. So we got this. There's the river here. I'm not sure what river the Topeka is on. The city of Topeka. But obviously it's a working waterfront. Okay, we're going to head down to the city here. Do a little urban canyon carving like I like to do. Don't try this at home. Oops. And we're fine. Looks like oh, this has got to be the state building right here. I mean, it's not a perfect model, but you can tell that's a city hall or state hall. Yeah, is Topeka the capital? That looks like a capital building. It's really big. It could be a state cap or a city capital. Could it? Maybe not a city hall. It's big. But it's also not. It's also looked like it's seriously under construction, which is why that model looks kind of like scuffed at the time they took it. We got some more buildings here. We got another kind of. Here's a district of some kind right up here. People shopping up here. This is either a hospital. I think it's a hospital or a mall. It says, wait, what does it say? Capitol Plaza Hotel. Okay, right? Is that what it says there? Hold on. Everyone get out. I'll take a peek at the side again here. No, something. Yeah, I was right. Capitol Plaza Hotel. All right. So it's a hotel. I don't know. Maybe it's like a convention center because it's got a big parking lot. Maybe a couple of hotels. Kind of cool looking. All right, back in flight. All right, but if we go this way,
Leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
again, don't try to fly this plane unless you have some good experience in it. Requires a lot of feel, a lot of feelings. What's this here? This is a school bus depot, and it's really cool. The school bus eye are 3D are like rendered as little 3D models. That's where they keep the school buses when they're not driving the kids around. Did I acknowledge? No, screw your last transmission. All right.
Topeka Tower, KNSH. Niner frequency change.
But yeah, lots of details. That looks like something. That might be a mall there. Looks like the mall. Then you got your downtown. As usual, these mid-size Midwest cities are always kind of a vibe. At least a few things that are like, wow, that looks really cool. I mean, you know, not all of it. All right, so where Topeka International, the big airport, is south of us. That's where we're going to land. After we land, I'm going to do my morning routine, which, as I mentioned, 2 quartals, 2 octordals, and a tightrope. It almost sounds like, you know, that Christmas song, you know. That is a cool looking church down there, though. It's here. It's next to the power poles, but still. All right, south. We're gonna wait a minute. What is this? The University of Kansas Health. All right, we're gonna head out to the University of Kansas. It's out here, or at least the health center. This looks like this could be the whole campus is out here. Because this whole area looks like university buildings to me. It could well be a large campus. It's got a hospital, like your typical teaching hospital. But I'm thinking that the whole University of Kansas is probably this area here. Big building, lots of detailing, lots of unique buildings. So I'm thinking this would be kind of the central part of the University of Kansas, this one here. Maybe those are living areas. Looks like more school buildings over here. Definitely. Absolutely. For sure. Very nice. All right, so if we head south, that's this way, down there, that's an international airport. It's not too far. We're going to head down there and land. And then I mentioned we're doing my morning routine. Hey, it's still technically morning somewhere. And then I'm going to take a short break, and I'm going to be playing my piano here for a good solid 45 minutes. So we got a lot of stream yet to come. Lots of stream yet to come. And then I'm going to get back to work. But not a lot, just a few emails. Okay, this is another school here, right? Washburn Ichabods. Washburn Ichabods. That must, maybe this is another Kansas City school? The Washburn Ichabods. I just love that. Oh my God. Every time we fly somewhere, there's always something. It's always something. Cheers, by the way. My Diet Coke is still looking quite dark, so we got to work on it. Show's not over till the Diet Coke is tan, which will definitely happen. All right, so if we bring up our EFB here, hello, getting some crosswinds here. We're going to increase our speed slightly. Okay, click here, get our plane, recenter. Okay, all right, so it wants us to basically land kind of this way, you know. So we're going to land that way. Now, meanwhile, I am going to lose some fuel so that we're not quite so heavy. There's really no reason to have a huge fuel load. Yeah, but stick around. I mean, hopefully I'll be able to play the piano. It has been like a solid week since I even touched it. That's not a terribly long time for me. Okay, we're going to head this way. Let's see. I will make sure we're lined up here. There we are. Oof. Okay, we're almost here. So let's see. What is the runway? The runway is there. Right. Basically, again, no landing gear, and basically some, we have some flaps to put down, and speed to manage. And other than that, very simple plane to manage to land it. I rarely have issues with it. All right, coming into Peak International. Reduce power here. Go to full flaps. Oops. Do have some crosswind today. Again, we've got low pressure in effect, meaning although it's clear, you can see a strong right to left crosswind here, which is fine, but we're just gonna have to compensate there. Real gentle landing right there. We just landed. You can really tell. Didn't wake the baby. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. So it does. It's doing that thing. I got full left. I got full left rudder on here. Full braking. We still went off the runway. Happens about 2/3 of the time, I would say. It's really hard to keep these planes. And this is a 2024 thing. When there's any side winds and when you're not in a very, very heavy plane. This is not a heavy plane. I mean, like in a jetliner, that would barely have pushed you off the runway. But anything like, what I'm talking about there is if you looked at the windsock, it was almost completely vertical. Something going on. USB device not recognized. That's not on my streaming computer though, so it should be fine. I'll check something here. Something my drawings are on. What that's about. All right, perfectly good landing except for kind of ish. All right, we're gonna stop near this tower, this cool tower here, which I think is great looking. I don't know where it wants to stop. Doesn't matter. I'm just looking for backgrounds. We should be able to do reverse propeller, right? But see, it doesn't really do that. And do you get reversers? No. I don't. That's the thing. I don't. The other thing I don't know about this plane, it doesn't really need it, is there should be a way to engage. See, when I put my blue control all the way down, it only goes to there, and it needs to go all the way back into reverse, so that when you land, you can put your plane from this is feather to reverse and get power going down. Anyway, I got to figure out how to do that though, because, right? Is that what that says down there? It's not really clear what that is, actually. No, can't do anything as long as those are... All right, let's move on. That was fun, though. Flight Simulator. I loved it so much, we're going to do some more of that next stream. Oh, that's in Lawrence. And so PK, thank you, by the way. I'm a little late. That was the state capitol building. Topeka is the state capitol. I didn't even know that, but now we do. We learned something every day. And yeah, there's a couple of campuses there. I think there's a Kansas University and a University of Kansas. I think there's there's a state college or Kansas college or whatever, and a university system. All right, we're gonna do my daily, as I mentioned. It's time to do it. We're not even gonna do a break. We're just gonna go right to my desktop here. Give me a second here. Wait a minute, you want to hold us up? Like, before I bring all this up, actually, let me get it at least so you don't have to see all my advertising screens here. What does my morning routine consist of? Okay, I almost started playing it this morning, and then I realized that I wanted to wait. That's why it has noisy play and CRU in there. I was like, you know what I should do? This was this morning. No, not even a break. I'm going to take a break after this. But this shouldn't take too long because this is something I like to do within a 10 at most 15-minute period in the morning as sort of a brain calisthenics. You know, that people are posting their morning routines and involves water and cucumbers and stuff like that. I'm like, no, but I do have a morning routine. I do it religiously every day, 7 days a week. And I have been for years. So obviously I've gotten good at knowing 5-letter words that have various patterns in them. Okay, so I like to talk about this. This part is not timed. I have 3 starting words I use for all of these 5-letter words. Oh gosh, no. Yeah, I mean, no. I probably did. I think Anyway, and so we have all 5 letters here. We got three. We got all 5 here. I think this is stole, like a mink stole. Um, this one's gonna be it probably doesn't start with a vowel. I think I've seen this one before. It could be a couple things, but most likely it's gonna be incur. That helped us here. That told us the IN. This could be something like inner. How you doing, LA development? It could be. It's not necessarily going to be inner, but because it could be, I'm just going to try it. Okay, it wasn't, but that we did have that E. Figure out the. I'm going to look over here. We got the U and the N, and that's it. That's all we know. And let's see. Again, the only letters that are available are these white ones on the keyboard. We've already eliminated all these gray ones by using the words. Oh yeah, I was saying the 3 words that I choose have 15 different of the 26 letters, all 5 vowels, Y in last position, so and 9 consonants. You pick the consonants, but obviously you don't want Z, X, V, W, Q, K, or J in it. D, H, G, F, and D are all perfectly good vowels. Maybe not F, but I don't have room for them, so I have others. All right, I'm gonna see if I can get one of these here. Let's see, at least get a thing. This is gonna be tricky. Let's see, what can we do here? It could end in something EN. It could be queen. It was queen. All right, now we only have this. This could be. It can and it can't end in R, so it can be index. Let's try it. You know, if we get it wrong, we had an extra guess, but we didn't get it wrong. How you doing? All right, so that's 1. Remember, I do 2 quartils. That's a quartil, and 2 octortals every day. So the quartil, that was the normal quartil. Today, for the second quartil, we're going to do, there's a couple of choices. We can do the extreme, the chill, or the sequence. I'm going to do them all, but let's just do this one today. This one's harder words and fewer guesses, but you better believe I'm going to, it doesn't take a long time. Same starting words every time. And by the way, if you think you have a better set of 3 starting words for this game than I do, I would love to hear what they are. This could be something like fully, or gully or something like that. We got what this could be. This could be whisk. I want to try it. Whisk here. Let's try it. Yeah. Somehow that is a very good word because it was both the correct word and it gave us the W in 2 out of these other things that we didn't have before. This one we have almost all we need here. For example, it could be S, W, O, R. Well, we have D available. And let's see. This is going to be the hard one, lower right. This one here, let's see, doesn't start with a W, and it has an R and E in it. It could be O W E R, but then what could it be? Yes, I don't like that. It could be rower, R-O-W-E-R. Well, it was rower. Oh, we still 1 to go. All right, but we have 2 guesses, but it still could be fully or gully. Let's try fully, F-U-L-L-Y. It was fully. All right, we're moving on to part 2. Again, if this takes me more than 10 minutes every day, it's a fail. So the next thing we're going to look at is an octortal. It's just like Wordle, except there's 8 instead of 4. You'd think it'd take longer, but it really doesn't because it's all you're getting more clues each time. It takes a little bit longer, but usually the other advantage is that with my 3 starting words like here, now this could be crass or crash. Usually you get something right away where it can only be 1 word. Let's see if we can find one like that. Okay. Oof. I think this is going to be niche, N-I-C-H-E. Oof, it wasn't. That's fine. This is the classic, so we got extra words. It could have been, but now we know the C is here. So it's going to be Nice, N-I-E-C-E. Let's see, up here we have N-I-C, and there's an R and an E, so it can only be nicer. And then we have, let's see. Again, we still don't know whether this is going to be, oh yeah, it has to be crash because we determined that there's an H in it. It could have been crass until we chose a word that had an H in it. And now we know it has to have an H in it. Let's see, we got here. Let's see. This could be could start with an A. Let's keep looking here. We still have a bunch of words to get. Oh, look at this. We have M, A, and a C. We have an M and an A to place. M, A, C. What could it be? But it could be A, C, A, M. Remember, there's no other vowels. We've used all the vowels. It could be... Okay. Sometimes it takes me a little while, but at least eventually I will just guess something. Like here, I think this could be usage. Could be a couple things. Okay, could have been. But now we know it's S-U-A-V-E. Shame. You want me to check? By the way, thank you for suggesting things. But yeah, oh yeah, shame here, but it turned out to be suave. It could have been shame before I put usage in there, by the way. Except for that, we already had the H eliminated, so it could have been shame. But anyway, you get the idea. That's okay. We still have 4 guesses and 4 words. That means if we want to win this, we have to get everything here. Let's see. We have all we have is there is an N and an I. And it's not like unity or unify because there's no Y. We got some hard words here. I think we'll get at least 1 or 2 more. These are some hard words here. I think this is going to be our next one here. It starts with an S, and we have an A to put there. And that's all we know. There's no C. So let's see. It could be SQUAD. Squad. Yeah, see, when it's yellow, you know, like there's a U in it, but it's not in this position. It has to be in other position or to be green. The green indicates you got the correct letter in the correct position. Yeah, that U, the S something U, and then, well, what can go between an S and a U? The limited number of things like S, H, we eliminate them. All right, but that's good, except because this D helped us up here. So now we have that it starts with a U and ends in a D, and the I is here. And in fact, I think this word is undid. ONUNDID. I'm pretty sure about it. It was right. All right, we're moving along here. Okay, at least we know the N is after the I. It still could be INT. It could be faint, FAINT. Because F is available, the A can go there, the I must go there, the N can go here, and the T can go there. It was right. It's a kind of a process of elimination. You find a word, and if you can't get anything else here, okay. So here we have the same issue here. Now we know it's ACA, which I thought it was. So it's either MACA something, which it is, because I now know the word. It's macaw, MACAW. This is our first octortal of the day. We won it. We win. Now we're going to do the hard one. That was the hard one. The hard one is the rescue. Then we'll get to the tightrope, and then we'll be done, and then I'll switch to music. But I'm having a great time. What is the rescue? Normally, I pick 3 starting words, and they're good ones. This is an octoral in which there's eight words, but it chose 4 words for us randomly, different 4 words every time, and they're most likely going to be terrible. Like in this case, none of the words have either an I or an O in it, so it's not like you get all of the you get it. But in some cases, you'll get something like, oh well, it's STE. There's an R, so it's got to be star. Well, okay, it could be Stark or Start. And so that's not a great one. Let's see if we can find one where we at least get one word. This one here has SM and then a K in it, and it's got to be smoke. And that's good because it'll give us the O for the first time. O wasn't in any other words. That's fine. We eliminated the O. All right. Now we've got something that ends in ER. It could be a million things. This is just T's, F, and R. But here's the good thing. It doesn't have any vowels in it. But that means we know it's got to have an I in it because I is the only vowel that we have not eliminated. So let's see. Let's see. If it starts with an F, and then it has to have an R and a T in it. It could be R something T, R, but not first because the S is eliminated. I don't like FART. Tiger wouldn't fit here because we've eliminated T, and it wouldn't fit here because this is tricky. These are the hard one. Again, we can have Start or Stark. Oh, we eliminated Stark with that K. So I'm pretty sure it's got to be Start. It could only be. It can't be Stare with an E. It can't be K. Stark with a K. Yeah, I had a good feeling about that one. All right, this one here now we know it ends when URE and has an A in it. So if it's AURE, does that work? AURE. I don't think it does. And that means it must be A something URE, which would be, it's got to be Azure. I can't think of anything else that's going to fit in there. Yeah, I feel good about it, and I'm right. All right, let's keep moving on here. We don't have all day. Let's see. We have not really done. Okay, we got T here. Oh, we know where the T is, and there's an R. So, oh, and there's an F. Okay, so we have an F and an R to place. And it could be RAFT. I like it. RGRAFT. Graft. Could have been a couple other things. Could be draft or craft. That was bad. That was bad. That's fine. We have to win them all. Basically, you have to get them all right at this point. And I don't think we're gonna. All right, so we have a G and an N. Oh, I think this has got to be again AGAIN, which we use the I. Give us the I, which you badly needed to know. So that I shows up in a bunch of important places, like here. So now we know this is something, but this could be drift. And if it is, that's good, because it'll either eliminate or give us the D. Yeah, it eliminated the D here, so now we know it's not draft or graft. It probably has to be craft. And if that's good, because it will give us the C. It had to be craft. We got 2 guesses for 2 of these left. We're not going to get it today, but that's fine. We'll get 7 out of 8. All right, this one here has a D in it, and that's all we know. And it could be DER, but not ED. Oh, and there's an IDER. So it could be rider, RIDER, because I can be there, the D can be there. We know there's an E and R there. It could also be wider. Oof. It wasn't either one of those. It was a diver. All right. So we didn't do that well. It was idler. It was riper. Okay, these are hard. I only get this about half the time. All right, I've told you we're going to do 2 Quirtles and 2 Arc Turtles, and I don't always get the rescue. The next thing to do is the tightrope, and then we're done. I'm going to switch over to music. I'm having a great time, but that's fine. The tightrope, fortunately, is a timed quiz. It can't take you longer than 3 minutes to do. You do it on a daily basis as they get easier to harder. There's 9 questions. I like to get them all right, but you got to be a trivia master to do it. They do get harder. I don't always get all 9. You got to get 7 to complete it. 7 out of 9. Stronger than many other rodents. Beaver. It's one of those with any the Scottish Robert the Bruce. Bruce Wayne was Batman, of course. Let's see. A Amish population. Depending on the horse and buggy driver. That's Pennsylvania. Horse and buggy driver's manual. That's cute. I was just reading about the Amish today. I don't have full-size back plates and tail spikes of which dinosaurs? Okay, that's going to be a Stegosaurus. Key being back plates and tail spikes. That being the only dinosaur that had those. Probably Beyonce, like his wife. Okay, that's Jay-Z. Yeah. And the thing is, once you know the answer, you don't have to read the rest of the question. And you just have to look for the answer. It's timed. So you get a speed bonus. Customers is which island? Sicily. How you doing, by the way? Good to see you. We're finishing up the trivia quiz, and I'm about to play music. I'm going to bring my piano in right here. Take a short break. It'll be the piano lounge time. All right, correct spelling words. Okay. So idiosyncrasies is that's always a tricky one because you have to spell a fairly hard word correctly. That wasn't too bad though. According to agreement, Prometheus by stealing which item? Fire. It's moving a line wrong. Give it to humans. Yeah, take your fire back. We don't need it. Which little feather to reject it? This was, you got to know this if you're old. Marlon Brando. I remember that. I was 13. I remember watching this on TV live. We used to watch the Oscars on my black and white TV. My parents, we were all like, oh, what the hell? It was funny, though. All right. So what do we get? High flyer. We want to get walking encyclopedia. We got walking encyclopedia. Oh, the highest one is clever funambulist. So we reached clever funambulist today. If you think you can do that on a daily basis, I welcome you to try. But I am a trivia master. All right, guess what that means? It means it's time for me to run my mid-roll, get my piano located. I see it right over there. And we're switching to the music category, and we're going to do music stuff for like 45 minutes. So enjoy. right, thanks for sticking around if you have. Got my piano set up. Gonna set up things a little bit more. I know how I like to do that. Maybe a little this sign here. There we go. There, that's about right. See if we're working here. Gonna warm up a little bit. Move my stand a little bit this way. There we go. Welcome to Ken's Piano Lounge. What is a piano lounge? Well, the lounge act basically is this piece of paper here. You can kind of see it. It is just names of songs, and I just recently printed out a new one because the old one is names of songs and the author of the song, and then I got to be able to sit down and play it without music or notes or lyrics or anything. Sometimes I sing it. And that's that's the life of a piano lounge pianist. You got to be able to do it. So, for example, say a little prayer, Natalie Cole version, of course. I'm cold. Let's warm up. Yeah, I haven't played for a week, and definitely it's a little, but it's a standard list of songs I've played a lot. Oh, I'm going to sing a song now. It's called Peaches. It's by a band. It was a kind of, it's not really a lounge song. And if I were playing just my pure lounge act, I would not sing any songs. You know what I mean? But this is my act. I can do what I want. Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, gonna eat me a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, gonna eat me a lot of peaches. Peaches come from a can, they were put there by a man in a factory downtown. If I had my little way, well, I'd eat peaches every day. Sun-soaking bulges in the shade. Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, gonna eat me a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, gonna eat me a lot of peaches. Peaches. I took a nap where the roots all twist. I squished a rotten peach in my fist, and I dreamed about you, woman. I poked my finger down inside to make a little room for an ant to hide, while nature's candy in my hand, or can or pie. Millions of peaches, peaches for me. Millions of peaches, peaches for free. Millions of peaches, peaches for me. Millions of peaches, peaches for free. Peaches. I do think that song is a banger, frankly, as they say it. I'm gonna do another couple more instrumentals here, though. That, for example, this one by Joe Jackson. Cat wants out. Give me a second. I'm sorry. He's very demanding. He's a very angry beast. He will not be satisfied till I open his door for him. Oh, that's life with a cat. You know, cat's in charge. Start with the second verse. He's happy now. He was not happy. I like that Joe Jackson song. I'm just going to do random songs, though. I am going to sing another song or two every now and then, but not right now. What's a classic lounge song? since we're having fun, I want to have some more fun. I'm gonna do this with the electric piano. This one here, like this one. Electric piano as a solo. I don't know, but for the song. There's a man who leads a life of danger. With everyone he meets, he stays a stranger. With every move he makes, well, another chance he takes. Odds are he won't live to see tomorrow. Beware of pretty faces you may find. A pretty face can hide an evil mind. Oh, be careful what you say. Don't give yourself away. Odds on you won't live to see tomorrow. A secret agent man, secret agent man. Well, they've given you a number and they've taken away your name. Be sunning in the Riviera one day, then bleeding in a Bombay alley next day. Oh, don't let the wrong word slip when kissing persuasive lips. Odds on you won't live to see tomorrow. Well, secret agent man, secret agent man. Well, they've given you a number and they've taken away your name. Oh, look at it, agent man, secret agent man. This mysterious life you choose is a deadly game. Secret agent man, secret agent man. Well, they've given you a number and they've taken away your name. Well, look out, it's an agent man, secret agent man. This mysterious life you choose is a deadly game. Thank you for appreciating that song. I really love that one too. It's a classic. And for electric piano songs, I like to do this one. I don't sing it though. I'm no Billy Joel, okay? Okay, let me do this again. Okay, I got it now. It's a rusty. There we go. Also, or this one you better. Another good song to do on the electric piano would be The other one I thought I was too. This is the last one, electric piano, right? Uh-oh. Oh, what's going on here? Buttons. All right, back to the piano, as I promised. I got a bunch more songs I want to play though. Like maybe this song. I like to do "Morning After" from Superman the movie. Can You Read My Mind? "Morning After" is from the Sign of Picture. I'm gonna sing a song. By all means, get ready to hit that mute button. It's called "I Can See Clearly Now." It's by Johnny Nash. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind, and it's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Yes, I can make it now, the rain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for, and it's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. And I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind, and it's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. And it's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Do a few more songs here. Little Charlie Brown. Vince Guaraldi. And then the Christmas, you know. gonna sing my last song today and say goodbye. I think you guys know what the song is gonna be if you've been here for a while. Look how tan this Diet Coke is here. It's very tan. It's not doing its. I mean, it's still cold. It's not as refreshing as it started, and that's why the show has to end soon. But after this song. To learn that. Something more like that. That's not either. All around me are familiar faces, worn down places, worn down faces, bright and early for the daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. Their tears are filling up their glasses, no expression, no expression. Hide my head, I want to drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Children waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Made to feel the way that every child should. Sit and listen, sit and listen. Went to school and I was very nervous. No one knew me, no one knew me. Hello teacher, tell me what's my lesson. Looked right through me, looked right through me. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I'd ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Mad world. Enlarging your world. That's the end of the show. But just for today. Oof. I had such a great time today. You won't believe it. Thank you very much for the hype. I had such a good time today. I never say this. This is the first time I've ever said this. Such a good time to do it. I'm going to do it all again on Friday. Next time. That's the regular Friday schedule. Come back for Friday. I do Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays. Not Tuesdays. I like to do Wednesdays. I'm hoping to do every Wednesday from, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's kind of my meat. But I think those are the best days to stream. If you're a regular streamer, the weekends, people might be able to see you on the weekends, but people who kind of make it a regular ability to visit you will be visiting on the weekdays. Again, that's why I'm going to make sure I do my Wednesday stream. I had a great time. I did lots of stuff. I got to put my piano away and get back to work, but it was just some emails and stuff. Nothing, a little bit of programming, I think, to do. Tomorrow's at the office day, so I'll get most of my stuff done there when I drive down in tomorrow. Work all day tomorrow. Let's see what else is going on. That's about it. I'm not really going to rate anyone. I don't really see anyone that's a close personal small streamer style friend of mine or anything like that. Yeah, I'm looking through there, and I don't really need to. But I had a great time. I'm going to do it all. By the way, tomorrow or Friday will be more flight simulatoring. We'll get a solid hour. I don't know where we're going to go. We might still have a couple places in Brazil to see. Second half of the show will be me playing guitar. And this one right here. This Les Paul right here. I'm having a good time with it, and it's a really nice one. It deserves more playtime. But I had a wonderful time again, and I shall see you again on Friday. Have a great rest of your week and a great rest of your Wednesday. So bye bye.